name is DeWitt. I'm an artist and restoration ecologist. I live and work in northeastern Illinois. During graduate school, I was a student here at ISU, and I was painting and drawing a lot, but I wasn't satisfied with the process or outcome of all the different things I was trying to do. Eventually, I started paying more attention to the objects that I was using to draw still lifes from, and those objects tended to be all found things, weathered wood and bones and sticks and things like that. And as I started to realize the inherent value of those materials, I started working with them more and more, and eventually stopped painting and drawing on them and using them for themselves and putting them together with other objects. So it really was a matter of responding to the materials themselves. All my work was pretty much always related to landscape somehow and inspired by landscape. But as I started working with these materials, my work got more abstract, so the landscape was still inspiring, but I wasn't depicting it in a literal visual way. So the piece called Displacement is a piece that had content before I started making it, so I had to make the pieces fit the content that I was striving for. It's about, basically it's a displacement of native habitat by invasive species, farmland, and other land use that is more or less beneficial, depending on which one you're looking at. But the native habitat is disappearing, has disappeared because of the other land use activities. So the piece includes one jar of native seed, which is a mix of 30 or so species of grasses and flowers, but most of those native wetland areas have either been drained for farmland or filled in with invasive species and therefore displaced. So the other seed that's shown in the piece include soybeans, corn, Kentucky bluegrass, and reed canary grass. Reed canary is an invasive species in wetlands, and it's actually available to buy as seed. And usually I kill that plant every day that I can, but in this case I bought a whole bunch of seed for this piece. Kentucky bluegrass is obviously our lawns, and there's lots and lots of acreage of lawn grass that used to be native wetland. Another aspect of my work lately has been drawing spirals and concentric circles and other simple forms on black rubber sheet material. And that work actually came to me in a dream, cliche enough, but I had a dream that I drew a spiral on a black piece of rubber and stuck it on a board and hung it on the wall. That was the piece. So when I woke up, a couple of days later, I made that piece, and I thought it was a throwaway until I put it on the wall, and then I was intrigued, and so I made some more of those, and those became something that were mysterious to me because I haven't really drawn anything in 20 years. So I was drawing again. And I was drawing these simple forms that at first didn't seem like they should mean anything, but I really liked them. There was something about them that appealed to me, and the response I got was positive too. So I've continued to do those. None of my other work came to me in a dream, so this was unique in that sense. Okay, Pitfall is a piece that I would describe as sort of classic, found object work of my own that is not content driven. It's really object and material driven. So I'm responding to the materials themselves. I'm taking little pieces of wood and blocks of rusty metal or bones, sticks, things like that, and I'm moving those around and literally seeing what I think work best together, or what actually seems more likely as what they want to do. The pieces seem to almost make themselves, and I'm just sort of a facilitator, so I have to, I basically really just move the pieces around until they're in a form that I like. There's no overt content in those kinds of works that is deliberate on the starting end. And so therefore they're very intuitive and fun to build. And once they're finished, then I feel like they do have content, because each of those materials that I'm using has individual content, or as a combination kind of creates some content. Again, inspired by landscape. At one point I kind of felt like those pieces were almost more representational of a landscape than an illusionistic image of a landscape, because they're actually physical pieces that came from a landscape. So to me they almost seemed more realistic.